I have an order to buy below this bar, third consecutive bull bar, double bottom bull flag, and 3 bull bars, so I don't think there'll be sellers below. I think probably more buyers below. Um, Not a great signal bar either on the double bottom bull flag, tail on top, so I think we'll come down and test that, the top of the tail, and after 3 bull bars, probably buyers below. I filled, and I'm looking for 15 cents. So we bounced up to 335, 23, 10 cents above this low. So it looks like there were a lot of 10-cent scalpers. I was a little bit higher at 15 cents, so that may have been a bit too aggressive. I felt like it was a 20-cent day, a 20-cent scalp day, but the bars are not that big, so I will go to 10 cents now. See what we get. I still think it's okay because of the 3 bull bars, and this has a tail on the bottom, so not a good sell. But the fact that we bounced at exactly at 10 cents makes me feel that it might have been a 10-cent scalp and not a 15-cent one. But that being said, I already missed that 10-cent move, so I don't know if it's reasonable to just get out here because the 10-cent move already happened, or to wait for it to happen again. Based on the setup, it still does not look like a good sell, so I still think it's okay for the 10 cents. So it looks like it was good for 10 and 15. Just went up to my 15-cent target, but that bounce up to a 10-cent target and the reversal back down to my entry made me just feel a little bit better about going for 10 cents. So 25 shares, 10 cents, so 250. And it looks like we did get up to the 20-cent target as well. So maybe a little bit conservative. And I think the decision making is tough until you see many setups exactly like this and you've traded them in real time, because when I look at this setup after the chart is printed, I don't see on the printed chart that it went up to a 10-cent target and came back down. All I see is that there are buyers below here, and it usually goes up for a 20-cent target depending on the type of day. So it usually goes up to a scalp target, and that's all I see on the printed chart. And so if I look at this at the end of the day and I say, oh, double bottom bull flag, not a great signal with a tail on top, 3 consecutive bull bars, had I bought below here, or knowing that it'll test the high of the buy signal, I'll make a scalp. And that's what I'll see at the end of the day. But during the day, I only took 10 cents because I saw it go up 10 cents, go back down to my entry, and then got a little bit conservative and went for a 10-cent target. So being in the trade in real time, the decision making changes. Whereas if I just assume that I'm looking at a printed chart while I'm trading and say at the end of the day, when I look at this chart, it should go up 20 cents above this low. It might be easier to make more sound decisions. But so essentially, the fluctuation within the bar is making me change my decisions, and I'm not sure that I should let it. I have an order to buy above this bull signal after 2 consecutive climaxes. Because it's so strongly down and the signal bar is quite big, there's a chance that we can pull back pretty deeply. So even if we get below here, I think there'll be buyers below. So I have a wide stop, about a measured move down, and that means that I have to trade small, so only buying 5 shares, looking for a test of the high of the sell climax. Right now I've set it up so I can buy in 3 parts, so I'm thinking I may buy above, buy below as it drops below, and then buy a second reversal up, but that may change. I have my target 5 cents below the high of the sell climax because sometimes we don't get quite there, so it's a little bit below. I ended up getting out there at the close of the bar. I was hoping it was going to get up to my target on that bar, but we didn't quite get there. And I know that there are many times where we don't, we get within maybe 10 cents, or I guess we get within one scalp unit of the high of the climax and don't quite get there, have to pull back first and get there on the second leg. So because we didn't race up, I felt that it'd be okay to get out just at the close of the bar. Now, obviously, we got there now, but I was giving up 5 cents or 6 cents to be a little bit more conservative, so I'm okay with that. But it was only 5 shares, so 5 shares and 25 cents. So at 370 now. And no matter how high this goes, I definitely wasn't going to hold past the climax. So I lost 6 cents of potential profit. I sacrificed 6 cents of potential profit, but still a pretty decent trade. I tried to buy above this bar, but it went above. I didn't have my order in, and then came back below. So I just bought like a 2 cent pullback at the market. Double bottom bull flag, surprise breakout. I think we may need to pull back for a bar or two, create either a high one or a high two. But I think it's a strong enough breakout that there's a chance we test up here. And if we get a high one or a high two, I'll buy above that. I think we should get a small second leg up from this breakout before breaking below the low. So I traded half size up here, and I'll trade the other half on a pullback. I also think there's a valid argument for consecutive climaxes. So this climax, pullback, deep pullback, and then second climax. So if the next bar, if this follow through bar is disappointing enough, then I may just look to exit break even and then see if we get a high one or high two and exit above and re-enter above that. I messed that one up. Wasn't patient enough. I mean, I still don't know if it's gonna get to my target, but my idea here was to sit through it, and while I was sitting through it, I just couldn't. I was thinking throughout this, I'm like, I knew that this was possible, so it shouldn't phase me. But then I was thinking, why don't you get out, wait to see the signal bar, and then re-enter. And so if I'm gonna do that, if I'm gonna exit at the first sign of a pullback, then I shouldn't enter on the aggressive entry. I shouldn't enter above here and say I'm gonna sit through a pullback and then add more. I should just wait for the pullback. I mean, I think there is a reasonable explanation or a reasonable justification for it, is that I buy here, and if it goes straight up, then I can capitalize on it. But if it starts to pull back, then better to get out break even and look to buy above a bull bar closing on its high. But I can't buy here, know that it's probably going to pull back, and then as soon as it pulls back, I get scared. If I'm going to exit on any sign of a pullback, then I should do that. But I shouldn't go in with the premise that I'm going to sit through a pullback and add more, and then get scared from the pullback and exit break even. So that's what I did here. So I have to make up my mind and be okay with losing the potential profits from the race up. So if we race up, I miss that. Wait for a bull bar and buy above the bull bar. Here we had a small bull body, but not a great buy signal. So I don't know if I would buy above that. And I didn't add above that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like how I managed this trade. All right, I didn't end up getting this recorded. I exited here, and then it gave me an opportunity with a second entry buy. So it was 3 pushes up, but it's a high one, breakout, pullback, and then a bull bar closing on its high. Probably still going to get a better second leg from this impulse. So I bought above there, just looking for 10 cents, because we have some targets above. So I bought above there with 15 shares, looking for 10 cents. I think I got 9 cents because I bought at 335.25, got filled at 335.26, and I had my order at 10 cents higher. So I had my order at 335.35. So 26 to 35, 9 cents on 15 shares. So $1.45. So at 5.47 now for the day. I didn't know how much more we could get, so I thought 10 cents was reasonable to scalp out. I didn't get this recorded, the first trade here. I saw it as a 2-legged pullback, breakout, and then pullback. And we got 4 consecutive bull bars, so that made me think that we're going to break above the high of day, because we had the breakout pullback and started to get buying pressure. So I bought above the 4th bull bar, and then we got a bear signal. So I ended up getting out on a small pullback to the upside because I was going to exit. I moved my stop to below the bear signal, and it gave me an opportunity to get out with a smaller loss, so I took it. Now, let me just put my order in. Now we had the 2 legs down, so breakout pullback, and we got a really strong bull bar. So I think that's buy above. I had much more conviction on this one than I did on this one because we had the 2 legs down and the strong breakout. So I think that's buy the close. I got 4 cents away. Didn't fill me, but I do think that based on the buying pressure, we should get to the high of day, at least test the high of day. So with this trade, I ended up I was looking for a breakout and my stop was relatively close, so I ended up trading bigger, 30 shares, and I lost about 30 cents on it. No, I lost about 15 cents on it, sorry. So I lost 4.50, so I'm down to $1 right now. $1 profit. And this one I also traded big because my stop is below the breakout. So 30 shares on this one as well. Okay, it got filled. So I scalped out with 15 cents. So up to $6. Today is very similar to July 17th. So this is July 17th. It's a very similar situation. We had a pretty dominant reversal up, and we had a tight pullback, breakout, pullback for 2 legs, and then what I have labeled as 12 here is the breakout bar. And we went up to test the high of day and entered a buy the close rally. And so today is a similar situation. We had a huge sell-off. So this is July 17th still, huge sell-off, dominant reversal up, tight pullback, breakout, 2 legs down, and then breakout bar on number 12. And today is big sell-off, dominant reversal up, double bottom bull flag, and then tight channel, breakout, 2-legged pullback, and then dominant breakout here. So this creates the buy the close. I think it creates a buy the close up to the high of day. But obviously I didn't take the second one. But I do think it's a reasonable thing to do. But I'm going to let it go.